Okay, so hello everyone. This is C. Ashish Kedia, and in this class today, we are going to practice multiple choice questions of economics from the topics demand, elasticity, consumer equilibrium, and supply. In short, chapter 2 MCQs will be discussed in this class. The MCQs are going to be of different varieties. Some will be very easy, some will be a little tricky, but none of them I believe would be tough. So make sure, let's start this. And one more thing, students, if any of you are expecting conceptual explanation, so for conceptual explanation another playlist has been created, right? And all English playlist is also there, and now in Hindi also we will bring up a playlist. So both the playlists are there. Whichever playlist you are comfortable with, watch that. Okay, let's go everyone. Demand for a commodity, everybody, demand for a commodity refers to what? As we had already discussed, demand for a commodity means the quantity which the consumers are able and willing to buy at a particular price at a particular point of time. So if you look here, backed by ability to pay, no, ability plus willingness, need and willingness, no, ability plus willingness. Quantity at certain price is okay, but look at the fourth one, quantity at a certain price at a particular period of time. This seems to be the correct answer because it is holistic in its approach. So D is the correct answer here. All right, let's move on to the next one. Contraction of demand is the result of, friends, all of you know contraction of demand means when there is a fall in quantity demanded due to rise in own price of the commodity. So here it would be because of increase in price of the goods concerned. So this is our correct answer here. All right, all but one of the following are assumed to remain the same. All but one of the following are assumed to remain the same while drawing an individual's demand curve for a commodity. Which one is it? Which one is it? So let's see everyone, which of it would be our answer. All but one of the following are assumed to remain the same. So come on everyone, own price is not assumed to be constant, right? Because whenever we draw a demand curve of an individual, here it is price, here it is quantity demanded. So own price is definitely not assumed to be constant, right? So the answer would be own price of the commodity. Here it is, here is the answer. Next, which of the following is an example of substitutes? Friends, substitute means which are enemies of one another. It will be either or. So it is not that you will use either tea or sugar. They are used together whenever they are. So they are complementary. Tea and coffee, yes, they are indeed substitutes or enemies of one another. It's the correct answer. In case of a straight line demand curve meeting the two axes, right, price elasticity of demand at the midpoint would be, see, this is the midpoint. So for midpoint, friends, for midpoint everyone, what is the formula? Length of line segment below, length of line segment above. So x by x equals to 1. We had studied this. So 1 would be the correct answer, and let's go for 1. Okay. The law of demand, assuming other things to remain constant, establishes the relationship between own price and quantity demanded of the commodity. So the price of the good and the quantity demanded of the good. This B is the correct answer. We don't need to see other options as well, right? Next, moving on. Number 7. Identify the factor which generally keeps the price elasticity of goods low. So see, price elasticity of demand is low when customers do not have the option to shift or to reduce or increase their demand by large proportions. But if customers have this option, then price elasticity of demand will be high. Let's see. Identify the factor which keeps the price elasticity low. Very low price of a commodity. Yes, it's the correct answer, because you see, when the price of a commodity is very low, consumers would not bother even if there is a slight rise in price. So for example, a matchbox which is selling at rupees 5, even if it starts selling at rupees 8, one may say that okay, there is a kind of 60% rise in the prices, but still it hardly matters because the price is so low. So elasticity is going to be low. Identify the coefficient of price elasticity when percentage increase in quantity demanded is smaller than percentage fall in price. So see, percentage change in quantity demanded is smaller, so it is a case of inelastic demand. In the case of inelastic demand, the value of elasticity is less than 1. So therefore our answer is less than 1. All right. In the case of inferior goods, in the case of inferior goods, what happens, dear students, is when income rises, quantity demanded falls. So in the case of inferior goods, income elasticity of demand is going to be negative, because when income rises, quantity demanded tends to reduce. When income rises, quantity demanded tends to reduce. Right, sir? If the demand for a good is inelastic, that is, even if price changes, there will be not much change in demand. An increase in price will cause the total expenditure. Okay, this is not percentage method, this is total expenditure method. Let me revise with you total expenditure. If there is a direct relationship between price and total expenditure, that is, a rise in price leads to rise in total expenditure, or a fall in price leads to fall in total expenditure, that, my dear students, is a case where we talk about what? Where we talk about inelastic demand. Where we talk about what? Where we talk about inelastic demand. But if there is a rise in price which leads to fall in total expenditure, or if there is a fall in price which leads to a rise in total expenditure, friends, this is a case of elastic demand. Friends, this is the case of elastic demand. This is the case of elastic demand. And if there is a change in price, both increase or decrease, and total expenditure remains constant, then that is the case of unitary elastic demand. Right? Just remember this. Now, in this particular case, it is inelastic. So if there is an increase in price, total expenditure is also going to increase. So our answer is B, increase. Next, if regardless of change in price, quantity demanded remains unchanged, demand curve for the good will be what? So if despite change in price, quantity demanded doesn't change, so there is a change in price, but there is no change in quantity demanded. There is a change in price, but there is no quantity demanded, change in quantity demanded. Then what will be the demand curve? See, price is changing, but demand is same. So it's a vertical curve. It's a vertical curve, everyone. Moving on. Suppose the price of Pepsi increases. We will expect the demand curve for Coca-Cola to, yes. See, if price of Pepsi is falling, then quantity demanded of Pepsi will rise. So quantity demanded of Coca-Cola will fall. So there will be a leftward shift, right? So there will be a leftward shift. Okay, just a minute. Yes. So price of Pepsi increases. Sorry, it has not fallen. I saw it to be increases. My bad. So if price of Pepsi has increased, then quantity demanded of Pepsi will fall. Okay. And if quantity demanded of Pepsi is falling, then quantity demanded of Coca-Cola is going to rise. I saw just the opposite. So, okay. So there will be a rightward shift. Okay. All the following are determinants of demand except quantity supplied. A very easy question. A movement along the demand curve is best described as change in quantity demanded, because we have discussed movement is also called change in quantity demanded, shift is also called change in demand. Right, sir? If the price of Pepsi decreases relative to the price of Coke and 7 Up, so the demand for, now see, if price of Pepsi decreases, pay attention everyone, if price of Pepsi decreases, then quantity of Pepsi will go up. So the demand for Coke and 7 Up will what? Will rather reduce, because price of Pepsi has decreased. So quantity of Pepsi have gone up. So therefore the demand for Coke and 7 Up will decrease. Why? Because people will start having Pepsi. Understood, sir? If good is luxury, obviously friends, if my income increases, my demand for luxury goods is going to rise. So there will be positive, it will be positive. And pay attention, one more thing. If it is positive, now the question is, will it be less than 1 or will it be greater than 1? See, it's a very easy question. It will be positive and greater than 1, because we will be very excited to buy more of luxuries, right? And so the percentage change in demand will be more than the percentage change in income, right? Next, price of hot dogs increased by 22% and quantity of hot dog demanded falls by 25%. So quantity changes by a greater percentage. It is a case of elastic demand, because quantity is in a greater percentage. It's an elastic demand case. Next, if quantity demanded of mutton increases by 5% when price of chicken increases by 20%. So what is cross elasticity? See, percentage change in quantity demanded by percentage change in price. Now both are increasing, you see, both are increasing. So it will be 1 by 4, 0.25 would be the correct answer here. Right, sir. Moving on. Given the following four possibilities, which one will result in an increase in total consumer expenditure? So let's see everyone. Given the following possibilities, which one results in an increase in total consumer expenditure? See, consumer total expenditure is to increase. All right. Now, if demand is unitary elastic, there is no change in total expenditure. So it can't be the answer. If demand is elastic, a rise in price will lead to fall in total expenditure. And if demand is inelastic, then a fall in price will reduce total expenditure. So naturally answer would be D without having to even read it out, because A, B, C are incorrect. And we had discussed price and total expenditures behavior. If both are directly related, it is a case of inelastic demand. If both are inversely related, it is a case of elastic demand, right? And if there is no change in total expenditure, it is a case of unitary elastic demand, right, sir? Which of the following statements about price elasticity of supply is correct? Which of the following statements about price elasticity of supply is correct? So let's read it out, everyone. Price elasticity of supply is a measure of how much quantity supplied responds to change in price of the commodity. ठीक है? It's okay, all right. Price elasticity of as percentage change in quantity supplied by percentage change in price. Both are correct. I will not read the third one even. Which of the following is an incorrect statement? Okay, let's see. When goods are substitutes, okay, a fall in price of one leads to fall in demand of other. Yes, it's correct, because the demand for that commodity will rise. So this is okay. It's not the answer. We have to find the incorrect statement here. When commodities are complements, okay, a fall in price of one will cause the demand of other to rise. It's correct. As the income increases, demand increases always, and vice versa. Friends, this is the answer, as this is the wrong statement. I will tell you why. Yes, a rise in income leads to rise in demand for normal commodity, but for inferior commodity, is that the case? No. For inferior commodity, a rise in income will lead to reduction in demand. So our answer would be C here. Moving on. Suppose the price of movies seen at a theater rises from 120 per person to 200 per person, right? We have to use arc elasticity method. Formula for arc elasticity method is change in quantity by change in price into sum of prices plus sum of quantities. Remember, had it been percentage method, it would just be P1 by Q1, right? Now see, what is the change in quantity? From 300 to 200. So minus 100. What is the change in price? 120 to 200. That is 80. P1 plus P2 is 320. P1 plus P2 is 320. So everyone, P1 plus P2 is 320. So let's write down 320 here. And Q1 plus Q2 is 300 plus 200, which is how much? 500. So we put 500 here. So 84, 105. 4 by 5 is 0.8. Obviously, they haven't given minus value. It means elasticity has been judged in modulus terms. 0.8 is our answer. Moving on to the next question. Suppose a departmental store has a sale on its silverware. If the price of a plate setting is reduced from 300 to 1200, so price change in prices by how much? 300 to 200 is minus 100. Quantity demanded rises from 3000 to 5000. So change in quantity is by 2000, right? Now, what is the formula of arc elasticity? It is change in quantity by change in price into sum of prices by sum of quantities, by sum of prices by sum of quantities, right? So everyone, sum of prices by sum of quantities. So change in quantity is 2000, change in price is minus 100, sum of prices is how much? 500, and sum of quantity is how much? 3000 to 5000, that is 3000 plus 5000, 8000, right? Yes, sir. Having done this much, this is 100, 5, 2000, 4. Now 5 by 4 is 1.25. 25 I get. So it would be 1.25, right? Here it is. Moving on. Write the numerical value, or what is the numerical value of cross elasticity between two goods is very high. It means, so when the numerical value is too high, it means what? So what does it mean? If price of commodity X rises, then quantity demanded of commodity Y will rise. When does this happen? When they are substitutes of one another. Okay, and is very high. So yes, the material always contains this particular explanation. So yes, our answer here is going to be high degree of substitution. So there is a high degree of substitution between the two goods. You know why? Because they are not perfect complements naturally. Complementary, if it would have been, then there would have been inverse relationship. Had they been perfect substitutes, then the value would have been infinity. It would have gone to infinity, right? And therefore high degree of substitutability. Next, if the local pizzeria raises the price of medium pizza from 60 to 100, okay, so 60 to 100 is the change in price of the pizza, okay, and quantity falls from 700 to 100. So pay attention everyone. 60 to 100, so it is what? Change in quantity by change in price into original price by original quantity. Now change in quantity is 700 to 600, 100 pizza. So it's minus 600. What is the change in price? 60 to 100. That is 40 into what is the original price? Original price is 60. And what is the original quantity? The original quantity is 700. So if it is this particular case, now what happens is, everyone pay attention. 0 0 gone, right? Here also 0 0 gone, right sir? So it's 36 by 28. Obviously it's minus, so we don't need to do anything about that, right? 6 6 36 7 4 28. Now 2 18 or 4 9 4 7. Now it's 9 by 7, and if it's 9 by 7, answer would be 1 point something something, right? Okay, so are we doing it correct, or oh, okay, our bad. It's arc elasticity method again. I thought for one time institute will give percentage method, but no, it's okay. We will do it using arc elasticity method. No worries, no worries. So it's P1 plus P2 by Q1 plus Q2. We did not read this much. Okay, so change in quantities 700 to 100, that is by minus 600. And what is the change in price? 60 to 100, that is by 40 rupees. What is the sum of prices? 60 plus 100 is 160. And what is the sum of quantities? 700 and 100 is 800. It's okay, fantastic. So now 165, everybody. Now 5, 120, right, and 43. So it is somewhat landing us to 3. It is somewhat landing us to 3, and 3 seems to be the correct answer, everyone. Right, sir? If electricity demand is inelastic and electricity charges increase, which of the following is likely to occur? A very easy question. See, electricity will be needed. So maybe if charges increase, we will use less electricity, but we will not be able to reduce electricity by much, because it's after all a necessity. So yes, quantity demanded will fall, but with a very short amount, as it is a case of inelastic demand. Moving on. Suppose the demand for meals at a medium priced restaurant is elastic. Okay, because there are many medium priced restaurants maybe. If the management of the restaurant is considering raising prices, it can expect a relatively large fall in quantity demanded. We don't need to read anything else, because a rise in price will lead to fall in quantity demanded, and it would be a large fall in quantity demanded. Moving on. Point elasticity useful for which of the following situations? So when do we use point elasticity method? When? Acha, pay attention everyone. A very good question has come, so we need to pay attention here. See, the bookstore is considering doubling the price of notebooks. No. A restaurant is considering lowering the price of its most expensive dishes by 50%. No. An auto producer is interested in determining the response of consumers to the price of car being lowered by 100. So then you can use point elasticity method. It is correct. And in fact, it was written in the material. So you can, go to that class wherein we have discussed this, right? So it is logical to use point elasticity in such a scenario. A decrease in price will result an increase in total revenue. See, total revenue or total expenditure is one and same thing. It is expenditure for the consumer, but revenue for the producer. So that is the same thing. So it will only happen when there is elastic demand. Why? Because a fall in price has resulted in increase in total expenditure. It is happening only when there is elastic demand. That means percentage change in quantity is greater than percentage change in price. So percentage change in quantity is greater than percentage change in price. It is here that we see it. Right, sir. An increase in price will result in an increase in total revenue. That is inelastic demand. That is inelastic demand. When percentage change in quantity is less than percentage change in price. Okay, so everyone, that is 30A. Moving on to question 31. Demand for a good will tend to be more elastic if it exhibits which of the following characteristic. So demand will be elastic. Demand will be elastic. That is, there would be greater change, percentage change in demand. Okay, when it is a small part of income, no, then it will be inelastic. Yes, good has many substitutes, so consumers can easily shift their demand to other producers, and therefore it is the correct answer. Moving on, demand for a good will tend to be more inelastic when there is little possibility of change in demand. When the good has many substitutes, no. When the good is a luxury, the good is a small part of consumers income, yes. So as we had, in one of the earlier questions only discussed about the, matchbox example. So there it is. Question number 33. Suppose a consumer's income increases from 30,000 to 36,000. Okay. As a result, consumer increases her purchases of products from 25 to 30. What is consumer's income elasticity using ARC method? So that's easy, pretty easy. Change in quantity, that is 25 to 30. यानी कि अच्छा, first write the formula. Change in quantity by change in income, not price, into income 1 plus income 2 by quantity 1 plus quantity 2. So what is the change in quantity? 25 to 30, that is 5. What is the change in income? 6,000. Now we add both the incomes. So 30 and 36 added gives us how much? 66,000. And if we add both the quantities, 25 and 30, how much is it? It's 55. So what do we get? 5, 11, 6,000, 6,000, 6,000 gone, 1. 1 is our answer. Okay, and here we have done it correctly. Very good question from the equilibrium chapter or the utility chapter. Total utility is maximum. See, friends, if we were to discuss the relationship between TU and MU, I would tell you 3 things. Number 1, when TU rises, when total utility rises, marginal utility falls. When total utility reaches its max, remember these 3 points, MU becomes equal to 0, and when TU falls, MU becomes negative. MU equals to negative. This is what happens here, right? So here when TU is maximum, when MU is 0. TU is maximum when MU is 0. Last one we did, na? Maybe it got erased. The answer was 1, I guess. Okay. Next. Which of the following is not an assumption of theory of demand based on indifference curve analysis? Let's see. So basically, which of the following is not an assumption? Given scale of preferences as between different combination of two goods. Now pay attention. As between different combination of two goods, pay attention everybody. It is an assumption. Diminishing marginal rate of substitution, yes. MRS false. But marginal utility of money, no. Marginal utility of money is constant. Marginal utility of money is assumed to be constant. Means The amount of love we had for money initially is the same amount of money, is the same amount of love we have for money gradually. So it is the same, right? An indifference curve slopes downward to the right since more of one commodity and less of other results in what? See everyone, have a look. An indifference curve slopes downwards to the right since more of one commodity and less of another. Since more of one commodity and less of another. Since more of one and less of another result in same level of satisfaction, because for any point to be in the indifference curve, remember everybody, they have to be giving the same level of satisfaction, only then they are capable of being plotted on the indifference curve, right? Okay, suppose that workers in a steel plant manage to force a significant increase in their wage package. Okay, so basically cost of production has increased because wage is ultimately a cost of production, right? How would a new wage contract likely to affect the supply? So see, when cost of production rises, the supply falls, which means leftward shift. So supply curve will shift to the left. Okay, which of the following is incorrect? An indifference curve must be downward sloping to the right. Yes. How is it incorrect? It's correct. Convexity of the curve implies that slope of curve diminishes as one moves from left to right. Yes. Income elasticity for inferior goods is positive. No, it's negative. Why? Because when our income rises, our demand for inferior good rather falls. Whenever there is an opposite relationship, we use a negative symbol. Moving on. The successive units of stamps collected by a little boy give him greater and greater satisfaction. The successive units of stamps collected by a little boy give him greater and greater satisfaction. So it's clearly an exception to the law of diminishing marginal utility, because as we are increasing consumption, our satisfaction is increasing, while the law of DMU says that while we increase consumption, our satisfaction is going to decline. So a good question they have asked. Moving on to the question number 40. Let's see whether we are able to solve this one or not. Let's see. What will happen in the rice market if buyers are expecting higher rice prices in the near future? So see, if buyers are expecting rice prices to increase in the future, if buyers are expecting price of rices to increase in the future, they will buy more rice today. So the demand for rice will increase because they would not want to buy it at a higher price at a later date, right? Okay. In case of giffen goods, see, giffen goods are those inferior goods for whom when we increase price, the quantity demanded also rises. So there will be a upward sloping curve to the right, and that is the correct answer. And that is the correct answer. Moving on. By consumer surplus, economist means what? See, consumer surplus is when what we are actually paying for the commodity. Suppose we are paying 50 for the commodity. I am paying 50 for this pen, but I was ready to pay 1000 for this pen. So the consumer surplus is 950. Now let's see what they are trying to ask. By consumer surplus, economist means what? Let's see what they are asking. Area inside the budget line? No. The difference between the maximum amount that a person is willing to pay for a good and its market price. See, I was ready to pay 1000, but I am actually paying the market price 50. So 950 is my surplus. That is correct. Which of the following is a property of indifference curve? Convex to the origin, it's correct. It is convex to the origin, yes, so it's all right, but maybe they have all the above, so this is okay. The marginal rate of substitution is constant, no. So okay, then A is only correct because there is no all the above type. When economics speak of a utility of a certain good, utility refers to the want satisfying power. Please pay attention everyone. Utility refers to the want satisfying power of a commodity. So it is the satisfaction that is expected. So C would be the ideal answer. A vertical supply curve parallel to y-axis. Okay, so it means despite change in price, there is no change in quantity supplied. So that means elasticity is 0 because there is no change in quantity despite change in price. So it is 0. It's correct. for a normal good with a downward sloping demand curve, for a normal good with a downward sloping demand curve, very good question. If it is a normal good, price elasticity of demand will be negative, but income elasticity of demand will be positive, because for normal good income increases, demand increases. So price elasticity of demand will be negative, but income elasticity of demand is going to be positive. This one seems to be the correct answer in this regard. Next is, an increase of supply of goods is caused by, see everyone, when do we increase supply of goods? In supply of goods increase when we improve technology. That's okay. When the price of other goods, okay, which can be produced, fall in the prices of other goods which can be produced using the same inputs. Yes, supply of the an increase in supply of good is caused by fall in price of other goods. No, fall in price of factor of production used in its production. Yes. So if there is a fall in price of the goods, if there is a fall in price of the factor of production, it's correct. And if there is fall in price of other goods, so naturally I will want to produce this goods more, because other goods price have fallen. So I will want to produce the current good more. So all of them seem to be the correct answer. So the right answer for MCQ would be all the above. Right? Sir, how? I will repeat it. Because see, it is increase in supply. It should be because of factors other than own price. Own price should not be considered in this regard. So yes, if technology is improved, capacity to supply will rise. If there is a fall in price of other goods, then we will only stick to this commodity, so more supply. So it's correct, na? Moving on. Question number 48. Let's see what it is talking about. Elasticity of supply refers to the degree of responsiveness of supply to the change in its own price. B is the correct answer. Next, moving on. A horizontal supply curve parallel to quantity axis. A horizontal supply curve parallel to quantity axis. So there is a change in quantity, everyone. Price remaining constant. So it is infinite. It is infinite. Moving on. Contraction of supply is the result of, see, supply is contracted because of fall in own price of the commodity. So because of decrease in prices of the goods concerned. Because of decrease in prices of the goods concerned. Moving on. Question number 50. Conspicuous goods. A very good question, everyone. What are conspicuous goods? We have already covered. Prestige, snob, Veblen effect. Goods that are purchased for status symbol. I guess this was the first point under the exceptions to the law of demand. Okay. So whatever it is, we had discussed it. Quantity purchased remains constant irrespective of change in income. So your income is rising, your income is falling, but your quantity demanded has remained the same. This is what? Despite there is change in income, there is no change in demand. So this means there is zero income elasticity of demand, because there is no response of quantity to the change in income. Moving on. When income increases, the money spent on necessities of life may not increase in the same proportion. This means income elasticity is there, but it would be lesser than 1, because it will not increase with the same vigor and it will not increase with the same strength. So income elasticity will be less than 1. Luxury goods like jewelry and fancy articles, a very good question, will have what? High income elasticity of demand. So when my income increases, the demand for these luxuries increase at a greater percentage. So luxury goods have high income elasticity of demand. Good question. A good which can be consumed more than one, friends, it's naturally a durable good. Which can be used again and again is a durable good. A relative price is what? Price expressed in terms of money. When you get no, the ratio of one money price to other or equal to money price. A very good question, friends. See, ratio of one money price to another means when you are comparing price of two commodities, that is called a relative price. Okay, comparison. Moving on, everyone. A point below the budget line of a consumer. A point below the budget line of a consumer. A point below the budget line. So this is the budget line. Any point below this shows that the entire money has not been utilized. represent a combination of good which cost the whole of consumer income? No, that is the budget line. Represents a combination of good which cost less than the consumer income. Yes. Demand is the desire for a commodity given by its price and those of related commodities. Pay attention, everyone. Entire relationship between quantity demanded and price. Absolutely correct. Suppose potatoes have 0.4 as income elasticity, minus 0.4. It means when my income has increased, I have reduced quantity of potatoes. So we can say that potatoes are inferior goods. The price of tomatoes increase and people buy tomato puree. The price of tomatoes increase and people buy tomato puree. You infer that tomato puree is added. So see, price of tomato increase, so people buy more of tomato puree instead of the original tomato. So that means they are substitutes of one another. If one has increased, the other's quantity has increased. So that happens in the case of substitutes. Next question is, chicken and fish are substitutes. Chicken and fish are substitutes. So if price of chicken increases, what will happen to the demand for fish? Everybody, if price of chicken increases, what will happen to the demand for fish? So they are substitutes. So if price of chicken increases, demand for fish will increase, and therefore the demand curve for fish will shift rightwards. So this is the correct answer. Chips and popcorn are substitutes. A rise in price of potato chips will dash the demand for popcorn, will increase the demand for popcorn, and quantity of popcorn sold will decrease because okay, just a minute. A rise in price of potato chips will increase, just a second. A rise in price of potato chips will increase the demand for popcorn, and so quantity of popcorn sold will obviously increase, because both ways they are talking about popcorn only. So it will be increase. Okay, moving on. If the price of orange juice increases, demand for apple juice is going to increase because they are substitutes. An increase in demand for computers, other things remaining same, will what happens? If there is an increase in demand for computers, there will be increase in the number of computers bought. ठीक है? Decrease the price but increase the number of computers bought. Okay. Next, increase the price of computers, increase the price and number of computers bought. So naturally we have already got our answer. C. An increase in demand for computers, other things remaining same, will increase the price and number of computers bought. Sir, how so? Because see, if there is an increase in demand for computers, see, if the quantity demanded of computer rises, supply is same. You all know when there is excess demand, there is increase in price. So yes, there will be increase in price and number of computers bought will increase because there is more demand. A very good question. See why it's a good question, I will tell you. Because if price increased, then quantity demanded of computer would reduce. But when it's the opposite, when quantity demanded increase, then price of computer will increase. Because here price was the cause, here quantity was the cause. And earlier effect was faced on quantity, but here effect is faced on price. So the two are different, don't misunderstand. When total demand for a commodity whose price has fallen increases, when total demand for a commodity whose price has fallen increases, so there is an increase in demand due to reduction in price. So it is price effect. It is what? Price effect. Price effect is the sum total of income effect and substitution effect. Pay attention, everyone. With a fall in price of a commodity, consumers real income increases. Yes, because now consumer can buy more of the commodity, because real income means purchasing power. Real income is nothing but purchasing power. So if price of something has reduced, your ability to buy that thing has increased. I will give you an example here. So suppose price was rupees 5 for a commodity whose quantity demanded was 100 units. So when price was 5, demand was 100. So we were spending 500 rupees. Now price has gone down to 2 rupees. So with the same 500, now you can buy 250 units. So this is the real income, the purchasing power. Understood, sir. Moving on. With an increase in price of diamond, quantity demanded also increases. This is because the diamond is a conspicuous good, articles of prestige, right? An example of good that exhibits direct price demand relationship. Direct relationship means when price rises, quantity also rises. Giffen goods is an example. In economics, when demand for a commodity increases with a fall in its price, it is known as when demand for a commodity increases with fall in its own price. So demand increases due to own price, fall in own price. That is a case of expansion of demand, friends. The quantity supplied of a good or a service is the amount that is actually bought during a given time period at a given price. It's correct. Producer wish they could sell, no. A seems correct. Producers plan to sell during a given time period at a particular price. Now see, here in 71, there is a kind of debate that has set apart because see, it is planning to sell and that is actually bought. No, actually bought is the sales value, but plan to sell is the correct, is a better version rather. So see, supply is the limited resources that are available with the seller. Supply is the cost of producing a good. Supply is the entire relationship between quantity supplied and price of good. In fact, similar question they had asked from demand also. There also we had said the same thing, entire relation. In a book market, the supply of books will decrease if any of the following occurs, except. So which one will not reduce the supply of books? Decrease in number of publishers, yes, supply will decrease. Decrease in price, supply will decrease. And increase in future expected price of the book. So yes, current supply will decrease and increase in the price. Now wait. Supply of books will decrease. They have used the word decrease. Right? Everyone, pay attention. They have used the word what? Decrease. So yes, there is a decrease in price of good. There will be fall in the supply of goods, but that is called contraction. This is contraction. They have used the word decrease and therefore we object to this. If price of computer increases by 10%, supply increases by 25%. So 25% by 10%, that is 2.5. Moving on. An increase in number of sellers of bikes will increase the supply of bikes naturally. If the supply of bottled water decreases, if the supply of bottled water, decreases, okay, other things remaining the same, the equilibrium price dash and equilibrium quantity dash. See, pay attention. Supply has reduced. If supply falls, pay attention, demand is same. All we had discussed. So obviously equilibrium quantity will fall because quantity has fallen. So equilibrium quantity decreases. But wait, there is reduced supply. So there is excess demand. Whenever there is excess demand, prices increase. So equilibrium price rises and quantity falls. Yes, sir. So A seems to be the correct answer. Yes, sir. Moving on. A decrease in the number of cameras, other things remaining the same will. A decrease in number of cameras, other things remaining the same will. Now see, if there is a decrease in demand for cameras, bought, other things remaining the same will. Now see, similar question. If there is a decrease in demand, there will be excess supply, price will fall and less camera will be bought. So decrease the price and decrease the number of cameras bought. 77 also done. Which of the following statement is correct? Let's see. Don't consider this marking. Which of the following statement about inferior good is true or false? Inferior goods are those that we will never buy no matter how cheap they are. Wrong statement. Inferior goods are those that we buy more of if we become poorer. Inferior goods are those that we buy more of if we become richer. No. Those that we buy more of if we become poorer. So 2 only is correct. Just a second. That we will never buy no matter how cheap they are. Pay attention. are those that we buy more of if we become poorer. हाँ ठीक है. So inferior goods are those which we buy are those that we buy more of if we become richer. No, we buy less of this if we become richer. So in the case of 78th, everyone pay attention. In the case of 78th, 3 is correct. Let's read 1 again. Our goods are those that inferior goods are those that we will never buy no matter how cheap they are. हाँ ठीक है, it's okay. Though I agree only with 3, but since there is nothing called 3 only, then 1 and 3 only can be considered. Comforts lie between. A very good question. Pay attention, everyone. So where are comforts? See, a good question. First of all, there are inferior goods that come to life. Once you are able to buy inferior goods, then you move to the necessities, because after all, necessities are very important. Now, having come to necessities, now you buy what? Now you buy what? Comfort, and then you buy luxury. So comfort comes between necessary and luxury. So C is the answer. Next, in a very short period, supply cannot be changed. Supply cannot be changed. In a very short period, supply cannot be changed. Right, sir? We have understood this much. So now moving on to question number 81. 80 we already did. In a very short supply, see, when the time period is very less, it is not possible for the seller to adjust their supply, and so in a very short period the supply cannot be changed, is what we had discussed. Now moving on to 81. When supply curve moves to the left, so if this is the supply curve, there is a leftward shift that has taken place. Now what does it mean? When supply curve moves to the left, it means lesser quantity is supplied at a given price. Wait, lesser quantity is supplied at a given price. Let us think. Lesser quantity is supplied at a given price. When supply curve moves to the left, it means lesser quantity is supplied at a given price. Yes, lesser quantity is supplied at a given price, because if there is a leftward movement, price is constant. So yes, I agree with this. Let's see whether something else is also matching. No. When supply curve moves to the right, now friends, if there is a rightward movement, means at the same price higher quantity is being supplied, more quantity is supplied at a given price. So A is the correct answer here. Elasticity of supply is defined as the degree of responsiveness of quantity supplied to the change in own price of the particular product, right? So responsiveness of quantity supplied to the change in its price. Responsiveness of quantity supplied of a commodity to a change in its price. Okay. Responsiveness of quantity supplied of good without change in its price, it's wrong. This seems to be okay. Responsiveness of quantity demanded responsive. No. A. It's okay. So we were just checking now. Elasticity of supply is measured by dividing the percentage change in quantity supplied, very easy question, by percentage change in price, right? So percentage change in price seems to be the correct answer. Elasticity of supply is 0. That is, supply is not changing at all, perfectly inelastic supply. Okay, sir. Elasticity of supply is greater than 1 when percentage change in quantity supplied is greater than percentage change in price. So percentage change in quantity supplied is more than percentage change in price. Yes. Okay. Moving on. If quantity supplied is exactly equal to relative change in its price, then elasticity is 1. That is, both are changing with the same percentage. So if numerator and denominator are same, because the formula is percentage change in quantity supplied by percentage change in price. Dear students, if both are same, the natural value you get is 1. Now, if price of a commodity decreases from 6 to 4, that is the change in quantity is by change in price is by -2, right? And the quantity demanded increases from 10 to 15. Okay, so change in quantity demanded is from 10 to 15, that is by 5. Find the coefficient of elasticity. Thank God they have given percentage method. Change in quantity by change in price into original price by original quantity. What is original price? Original price is 6. Original quantity is how much? 10. So if you solve it, guys, it becomes minus 1.5, right? 15 by 10 is minus 1.5. This seems to be the correct answer because we are talking from the purview of demand. So it's okay. It will be negative. Supply function is given as this. Find elasticity using point method when price is 15. A very good question. A very good question they have asked. Right, sir. So find the elasticity using point method when the price is rupees 15. So see, we will come to that point method ka discussion later on, but first of all try to see what is the quantity supplied when price is 15. Okay, so what is the quantity supplied when price is 15? So minus 100 plus 10 into 15. A similar question came up in your January examination, 25. So quantity is equals to 150 minus 100, it's 50. That was the quantity supplied. Now find elasticity. Friends, what is elasticity after all? Change in, come on, change in quantity by change in price into original price by original quantity. Now you know what? Here this delta will take the version of derivative. Yes or no? Yes, sir. So that is the point method actually. So if you differentiate it with respect to P, you all know derivative of 100 is 0. Derivatives is in maths. And 10P's derivative is 10. So here you get 10 dq by dp is 10. And what is P1? P1 is price 1, which was 15. And what was quantity at that level? Quantity was, I guess, 50. So 50. So 150 by 50, that is 3. Elasticity value is 3. Yes, sir, we have understood this. A very good question indeed. It is for those who have understood derivatives, right? Okay, sir. Moving on. The figure shows the budget constraints. So this question is from consumer equilibrium. Okay. Budget constraint of a consumer with an income of 900 to spend on two commodities, namely ice creams and chocolates. Wow. Now let's see. The price of two commodities are what and what? Okay, so very easy question na. Cups of ice cream, that maximum they can purchase is 45. Now if maximum they are purchasing 45 and 900 is the total income, so 900 by 45 is how much? 20. So an ice cream costs 20 rupees. Maximum chocolates they can buy is 90. So 900 by 90 is 10. So 20 rupees is the ice cream price and 10 rupees is the chocolate price. 20 and 10 is the answer. Moving on. No matter what the price of coffee is, Arjun always spends a total of exactly 100 per week on coffee. This statement implies that Arjun is habituated, right? Arjun is very fond and therefore he has inelastic demand for coffee. Yes, inelastic. They are habituated now. Yes, sir. 92. A firm learns that the own price elasticity of a product it manufactures is 3.5. Own price elasticity. Okay, what would be the correct action for the firm to take if they wish to raise the total revenue? Now see, own price elasticity of a product it manufactures is 3.5. Okay, very good. Now what would be the correct action for the firm to take if it wishes to raise its total revenue? Now if the firm is wanting to raise its total revenue, what does it mean? That means that the price into quantity, that is total expenditure, needs to be raised. Because if the consumers raise their total expenditure, then the firms can raise their total revenue. Yes or no? Yes, sir. So what the firms can do is they can lower the price, because if price is lowered, since elasticity is 3.5, quantity will shoot up very sharp, and so the answer would be this, because this is elastic case. So if you reduce the price, total expenditure will rise. That was the case of elasticity. Moving on. At high prices, people demand more of certain goods, not for their worth, but for their prestige. A very easy question. This is called Veblen effect. Veblen effect has other names as well, like snob appeal, conspicuous consumption. So remember this, okay? If the price of air conditioner increases from 30,000 to 30,010, oh my god, and resultant change in demand is negligible. I am seeing that the change in price is also negligible. Now their question is what they're asking is that we use the measure of dash to measure elasticity. See, it is such a small change. Everyone, it is such a small change. So whenever there is a very small change, remember, whenever there is a small change, we use point elasticity method, since it is a small change. So remember this, point elasticity is used. Earlier also some auto case we had done. Point elasticity method is used when there is very small change taking place. Okay. Now, given the following four possibilities, which one will result in an increase in total expenditure of the consumer? Which one will result in an increase in total expenditure of the consumer? A similar question was done earlier as well. Okay. See, if it is elastic and if price rises, unit elastic means there will be no change in total expenditure. Demand is elastic and price rises, then there will be fall in total expenditure. We want to increase total expenditure. This sum was similar, sum was done earlier. Demand is inelastic and price falls. So inelastic may they move in the same direction. So it will fall. Naturally, our answer is D. D is the correct answer. The supply curve shifts to the right because of improved technology. Yes. No. Not because of increased price of factors of production. Because of factors of production becomes expensive, our supply would rather fall, not rise. So it is a wrong point given, right? Moving on. Which of the following statement is correct? When price falls, quantity demanded falls. Seasonal change do not affect the supply of commodity. Taxes and subsidies do not influence the supply of commodity. With lower cost, it is profitable to supply more of the commodity. So which is correct? Let's see. When price falls, quantity demanded falls. No, it rises. Seasonal changes do not affect the supply. It does. If a season is for a suitable crop, the supply of that crop is going to change. So naturally it's wrong. Taxes and subsidies do not influence the supply. They do. With lower cost. If the costs are lowered, it becomes more profitable to supply extra units. Correct. If the demand is more than supply, then the pressure on price will be. If demand is more than supply, then the pressure on price will be. If demand is more than supply, then the pressure on price will be. If demand is more than supply, then pressure on price. It means there is a situation of excess demand. Whenever there is excess demand, price rises. So there is an upward impact. Moving on. Supply curve for highly perishable commodities during very short period is generally supply curve for very high perishable commodities. So commodities that will go bad very quickly, these are generally fruit products. Okay, so the question is, for very short period it is perfectly inelastic. You know why? Because even if you increase their prices, such perishable commodities cannot be produced extra. So it's perfectly inelastic because you cannot increase their supply in very short period. We had discussed it in question number very short period. Question number 80. We had discussed it. Okay, moving on. Supply is a flow concept. We have discussed it. In fact, guess what? If you all see my regular concept class recording, in the playlist, the first thing I have told about supply is that it is a flow concept. So it's naturally true. Okay. The cross price elasticity between two different types of bread is expected to be. So see, if this bread rises, whole wheat bread will fall because they are competing goods. So if the demand for okay, let's go ahead like this. Wait. If price of this bread rises, then quantity demanded of this bread will go up because people will consume less of this. So there is direct relationship. So it will be positive. It will be positive. They are substitutes. Substitute goods have positive cross elasticity. Complementary goods have negative cross elasticity. Substitute goods have positive cross elasticity. Complementary goods have negative cross elasticity. The cross elasticity between personal computers and software is, see, they are used together. So they are complementary. It's not that you are bringing software from the market and using it on your hand. Come on. So it's going to be negative because they are complementary goods. So my answer would be negative. Cross elasticity between bread and DVD. Oh my god. Sir, what is it? Are they related at all? Is it that if I buy more bread, I will have to buy more DVDs? No. So they are unrelated goods. They have zero cross elasticity. Which is correct? With the help of statistical tools, the demand can be forecasted with perfect accuracy. Had this been possible, everybody would be using it. So no. Estimate could be obtained. The more the number of substitutes, the more elastic is the demand. As we had discussed, more the substitutes, more the elasticity. Correct. Suppose the income elasticity in private schools in India is 3.6. Income elasticity is this. Okay. What does this indicate? 105. Pay attention, everyone. Sir, see, it indicates is not that it is wanted by the rich. It is a luxury. It is a luxury. You know why? Because they have elasticity greater than 1. Luxury goods have income elasticity greater than 1. We have done it in today's discussion only earlier. If the organizers of an upcoming cricket match decide to increase the ticket price in order to raise its revenue, acha, again total revenue based question. So decide to increase the ticket price in order to increase the total revenue. What they have learned from past experience is that demand is going to be inelastic, because if price rises and total revenue also rises, it is a case of inelastic demand. Total revenue is nothing but total expenditure, inelastic. So people will buy no matter what. The percentage increase in ticket rates will always be greater than percentage decrease in tickets sold. The percentage increase in ticket rates will be less than percentage decrease in this. So everyone, the correct option is B. I will tell you why. Because percentage rate increase in ticket rates will be greater than the percentage decrease in tickets sold. So this means inelastic demand, and this is why inelastic demand has been highlighted. Okay. Data on production of vegetables for past 2 years show that despite stable prices, there is a substantial decline in output of cabbage, leading to its lower supply in the market. Why cabbage supply is reducing is what they are asking. See, data on production of vegetables showed that despite stable prices, there is a substantial decline in the output of cabbage, leading to lower supply in the market. So cabbage is supplied less, right? Which of the following can possibly be the reason? Yes, so increase in price of cauliflower. So maybe the suppliers prefer to grow cauliflowers in their backyards and their farms instead of cultivating this cabbage. Yes sir, personally I don't like both, but it's okay, it's a part of question. The following diagram shows the relation between price of goods and quantity demanded of goods. Why? Acha, if price is rising here, demand is rising here. How do you know this? There is a upward sloping graph. These two are substitutes. But are they perfect substitutes? No. No, because for perfect substitutes we had understood the graph, and this is definitely not the graph for perfect substitutes. So sir, what is the case here? They are substitutes, that's okay. Close substitutes, yes. Had they been perfect, then ekdam the curve would have been flatter. So yes, it is not the answer. The diagram shows below leftward shift of demand curve. It means there is a decrease in demand. A change in demand which may be caused by rise in income. No. Increase in income cause increase in demand. Shift of demand curve caused by fall in price of complementary goods. No. If price of complementary good falls, demand increases. Here there is a leftward shift caused by rise in income, and the good is an inferior good. Yes. If income rises, demand for inferior good falls. Yes, this is okay. This is okay. Which of the following alternative would be true if the event presented in the following diagram occurs? Leftward shift of supply curve. Leftward shift. Okay. There is a leftward shift of supply curve. So let's see what is true. Leftward shift means falling supply. Okay. A fall in wage cost? No. Because if there is a fall in wage cost, supply would rise. Shortage of raw material increase in this. Yes, this could be the reason. Yes, this could be the reason. Because others, subsidy increase will increase supply. Why would it reduce it? Okay, 1 minute. Wait. A fall in, there is a leftward shift, na? So a fall in wage cost. So yes, a fall in wage cost will increase supply. So this cannot be the answer, because there is a leftward shift, there is a decrease in supply. Shortage of raw materials will decrease supply. Yes. Increase in subsidy will increase supply. No. Decrease in market price, no questions, because in the case of shift, there is no talk about own price of the commodity, that is in movement. So naturally it can be the answer. 111. The demand curve of a normal good has shifted to the right. Okay. Demand curve of a normal good has shifted to the right. Which of the 4 events would have caused this shift? A fall in price of substitute. No, if the price of substitute falls, then the quantity demanded would have fallen. So this cannot be the answer. It cannot be the answer. A fall in income of the consumer. And yes, oh, okay, wait. There is an increase in demand, na? So no, income fall will result in fall in demand, not rise. A fall in price of complementary goods. Yes. Yes, this is correct. I will not even read the fourth one. Absolutely correct. 112. If roller coaster ride is a function of amusement park visit, then if the price of amusement park entry falls, so if price of amusement park entry falls, okay, if price of amusement park entry falls, now they're asking what will happen. Roller coaster will rise. The demand for roller coaster will rise and demand curve will shift to the right. Yes, because they are complementary goods, roller coaster and amusement park. So it's correct. Let's see what it is talking about. If a short run supply curve is plotted, very short nahi hai, it's not very short, it's short run, is plotted for the following table, which represents price and quantity of fighter aircrafts, what will be its shape? See, no matter what, quantity supplied is remaining the same. So it's a case of perfectly inelastic supply. It will be a vertical curve parallel to y axis. Vertical straight line parallel to y axis. Nothing doing here. 114th question. Average income of residents of two cities A and B. Okay, average income and the corresponding change in demand is given in the table. Which of the following statement is true? Okay, city A, increase in income is by 12%. So percentage increase in demand is here increasing. Okay, and here it's decreasing. Okay, here it's increasing, here also it's increasing, here also it's increasing. Acha. See, if there is increase in income and demand for good X is increasing, so good X is a normal good in both the cities. I can see. Yes, good X is a normal good in both the cities. This is correct. But here, with the rise in income, demand for good Y in city A is falling, which happens in case of inferior good. So good Y is an inferior good in city A. A brilliant question asked. A brilliant question asked. Refer to the diagram below. Okay, this is from consumer's equilibrium. Let's see. If this consumer is spending her entire income and consuming at point B, okay, what advice will you give her? Spending her entire income and consuming at B, we will advise her to increase, because with the same income, see, okay, let's see, and then we can, have a further chat on it whether, what they want is given here or not. See, this is good X and this is good Y. What we will advise this consumer is that, see, here you are consuming this much of good X and this much of good Y. Ideally, she would be at equilibrium. If the curve would have gotten like this, it would have been tangent. For it to be tangent, this should have to come backwards. So that means for that to happen, see, or for equilibrium to be achieved, for consumer to move towards right, that is to touch IC2. This has to move right. So good X has to be increased, for which good Y will be reduced, because here it's not tangent. Tangent can only be achieved when we increase good X, that will shift it a little right and make it fall a little lower. So consume more of good X and less of good Y, so that the curve can shift rightward and be tangent to IC2. Yes, 115th is a good one. Which of the following statement is true about this consumer? They are not maximizing their utility at K. That is definitely true. Consumer is spending her entire income. It is given that they are spending her entire income. So, and the consumer gets equal pressure and B and K. So all these three are true, because the consumer would be in equilibrium had they been, making a tangent with IC2. So that's okay. Let's see. 117th question. Let's see what it is talking about. The effect on consumer surplus of a fall in price from E to F is. So price has fallen from E to F. So if price has fallen from E to F, consumer surplus will increase. Why they have written decrease? None of the above will be the answer. It is a question from consumer equilibrium, right? When price falls from F to E, pay attention everyone. When price falls from F to E, increase in revenue earned by the revenue. When price rises from F to E, increase in revenue is equal to how much? So that's very easy. This is the increase in revenue, EFGR. EFGR is the increase in revenue. So the answer would be 118A, EFGR. That is the increase in revenue portion. How would budget line be affected? Again, consumer equilibrium question. How would the budget line be affected if price of both the goods fell? So if price of the both the goods fall, we will be able to buy more of those goods, right? So the entire budget line would shift to the right. Yes, the entire budget line would shift. So the new budget line will have same slope as the original, so long as the prices change in the same proportion. This is correct. This is correct. So if the budget line would be like this, it would be like this if the prices say fall in the same proportion. So if it was 2, it was 4, and now it becomes 1 and 2, so they have both become half, that is in the same proportion. All right, sir. 120. During a recession, economies experience increased unemployment. Yes. And a reduced level of income. Yes. How would a recession likely to affect the market demand for new cars? If there is a recession, income has fallen down, so demand for cars will also fall down. So demand curve will shift to the left. Demand curve will shift to the left. You know why? Because there is increased unemployment. But yes, they have asked a good question. What will happen to the market demand? Yes, because of unemployment, falling income, demand curve will shift to the left. It's okay. This was the demand curve, it will go to the left. So friends, guess what? We have done more than 100 questions, around 120 questions, and this would give you a lot of confidence, right? And if anybody of you is struggling in the concept, my first advice would be, again, go to the playlist, watch this entire chapters, demand, supply, equilibrium, and then come back to this recording. That's it. Goodbye, everyone.